Today we will study about community ecology. Victor E. Salford defined community as an assemblage with the unit of taxonomic composition and a relative uniform appearance. E. P. Odom 1971 adds to this definition and with a definite trophic organization and metabolic pattern. According to Benton and Werner 1974, a biological community consists of all organisms living together in an interrelated fashion in a given environment. While F. Clement considered the community as an organism with a definite species, composition, and life history. H. A. Gleason considered community a tertiary assembly of organism. The community has a high degree of complexity since the individual organism may function in a different way. Major communities are relatively independent while minor communities are dependent on the adjacent community. The environmental gradient determine the degree of transition of one community into another. Blending of one community into another denotes continuum of vegetation. Sharply defined boundaries between the communities occur only when there is an abrupt change in the environmental characteristic. Study of communities. The characteristics of communities are studied under two heads. They are the analytic characteristic of community and synthetic characteristic of the community. Analytic characteristic of the community. The quality and quantitative characteristic of a community consist its analytic characteristic. Qualitative characteristic. The qualitative characteristics are the kinds of the species, that is the floristic composition, stratiferous of the vegetation, periodicity, vitality, life form, that is the vegetation, habitat and the growth form, sociability and association of species. The kind of species, one of the important qualitative characteristic of a community is its floristic composition. Preparation of exhaustive list of species present in a community gives us an idea of the habitat because each species has its own range of tolerance to the environmental condition. Ecological amplitude. The abundance of or sparseness of certain species indicate the prevailing favorable or adverse condition in relation to their ecological amplitude. Thus, the knowledge of the species present, their distribution, and the relative degree of their abundance is the fundamental to the study of communities. Stratification of vegetation. Stratification of vegetation is the another tool for the study of communities. While young communities have few strata, the forest have 5 to 7 strata, 2 or 3 of trees, 1 or 2 of shrubs and herbs, and a ground layer of moss and lichens. Periodicity. Periodicity it is a common knowledge that the various process of the plant, which the photosynthesis, growth, flowering, seed formation, occur in a seasonal manner. This is known as periodicity. All such process results in the appearance of certain morphological feature. Phenology is concerned with such appearance at a certain season of the year. In the native habitat of a place of a plant, the life cycle periodicity is likely to be according to the climatic condition. Vitality or the vigor. Vitality of the plant, the reproductive success of a plant is in a community is normally done as per the following classification. Well developed plant which regularly complete the life cycle, vigor plants which usually do not complete their life cycle or are poorly developed, and sparsely distributed plants that do spread vegetatively. Feeble plant that never complete their life cycle but do spread vegetatively. Plant occasionally appears from the seed but which do not increase in number, such as ephemeral plants. Vitality is an optimum when an ecotype grows in its fixed ecological condition. The life form. A community has a characteristic structural composition of life form which the trees, shrubs, herbs, epiphyte, thallophytes, etc. Study of a community from the viewpoint of view of the life form can help in an understanding of function of individual organism in a community. Ronquier in 1934 gave a classification of life form which is based upon the overwintering part or the location of the organ that survived the summer drought or other unfavorable condition. In other words, it is the unfavorable environmental condition that determines the life form and also the position and the degree of protection to perinating birds. According to him, the height of the perinating birds reflect adaptation to climate. This series are built on the assumption that the vegetation of the hot tropic present the primitive life form and that of the polar region represent the more highly evolved form. Thank you.